Hi, my name is Colbert and let's start with Last Oricru. This story-driven action RPG puts you in the middle of an ongoing conflict between two races on a partially terraformed planet isolated from outer space by a protective barrier. And despite that this game is technically a sci-fi title, all the culture and especially your weapons are medieval. Your decisions will bring interesting twists into the gameplay as you can heavily influence the conflict. The game also has multiple endings and really decent graphics, and now you can check them out completely free. Trail of Ayash. It is an open-world game focused on the indigenous people of America, their struggles and their stories in the pre-Columbian era. You will embark on an adventure in a land dominated by myths and legends where tribes engage in diplomacy, expansion and war. But all this Native American turmoil is just a tip of a dick. These lands are filled with monsters to the brim and it's up to you to avoid the danger or probably bravely die. These monsters are no joke, and Trail of Ayash is no doubt one of the most anticipated open-world RPG games. Iron Oath. It has been a while since we have heard something about this game, but now we know that spring this year is the announced release date of this tactical turn-based RPG, so the game's development is alive and kicking, not like your love life. The decisions you'll face here will often carry weight and can have minor or major influence on your characters and the world that surrounds them. That is exactly what we need from games like that, to feel important, to really influence the world, to shape it in our image. It doesn't really matter that the world is fake, it's real to us. Also, to be honest, our real world is probably fake as well. Statistically, there is almost no chance at all that our world is the one real one and not the simulation. I'm sorry. Fatadium. Here you as a powerful god will fight against up to 4 AI gods to rule a fantastic world and its mortals. These mortals act on their own and need to be persuaded to follow you. But how will you achieve this? Build great armies to expand and gain new followers by force. Or establish wonderful settlements, improve their cultural value, and convince others to join your path. And sometimes convincing is more effective when you give a plague to some village and then offer your help by removing it, at least partially. Someone has to die to learn the lesson, right? The Wandering Village. This is a city-building simulation game. In a world where mysterious plants are spreading all over the earth and emitting toxic spores as they grow, a group of people seeks shelter on the back of a giant wandering creature. Here you have to become their leader, build settlements, and form a symbiotic relationship with the creature to survive together. Well, I hope you can be really helpful for the creature, because, otherwise these people are just parasites living on its back, and you are the leader of parasites. That doesn't sound so dreamy and glamorous, right? Hero's Hour. While exploring the world and developing your town and army are both turn-based, giving you time to think and plan out your next moves, but in battles your units will do the best to fight for themselves in real time, all hundreds of them. You cast spells and give attack orders to swing the tide of battle, or just sit back and watch as your might unfolds. That is a really cool concept, something fresh in a world of games similar to Heroes of Might and Magic. They took the formula and twisted it hard, although I'm not saying that this concept is definitely good. Some things are good as they are, you don't need to mess with them. Like vodka. If you add mayonnaise to it, it may look cool, but please, don't do that. Scathe. This is an intense, classic first-person shooter with big guns and even bigger demons. Here you must prove your worth by navigating a deviously crafted maze, entangled with demonic evil at every twist and turn. Game will definitely remind you of the past visit to the home of your ex-mother-in-law and her devious plans to entangle you in her evil grasp. So use your strength and extreme speed to purge your way through hell's grotesque abominations as you search for the Hellstones and defeat the all-powerful guardians that protect them. Guild the Deathless. This is an adventure set in a persistent world all players affect. Here you can unlock shortcuts, share loots, and build altars to help or damage others and explore non-linear world map and procedurally generated levels across multiple landscapes inspired by Slavic folklore. Anyway, be careful. In Guild your character can die permanently, but the impact you and other dead players make on the world will remain. That kinda sounds like real life, except for the part about making an impact before you die. No offense. Builders of Egypt. If you played games like Caesar, Pharaoh or Nebuchadnezzar, you know what this game is all about. It's a city-building economic strategy game taking place in the Nile Valley, or literally a Pharaoh 2, but they have no license to call it like that, so they adopted one of the most generic names possible. I hope that developers are proud of their lack of imagination. To be fair, a name like that is a red flag for many experienced gamers, but Builders of Egypt actually looks really nice, and now it allows you to build some ancient huts from clay absolutely free. That is nice. Sugar and spice. Silt. This is an atmospheric puzzle adventure and exploration game with hints of horror made by ignoring all the existing colors. I love it. Colors are for the weak. Here, alone in underwater abyss, you are a diver searching the deep to uncover long-forgotten mysteries. You are able to possess the creatures around you to solve puzzles and travel further into the darkness. I'll be honest, Silt looks absolutely beautiful, and these hand-drawn backgrounds are, I agree with what developers are saying about their game. It's an art brought to life, that's for sure. Heart of Myriad. The game looks like Minecraft, who changed its gender and became a real-time strategy game, but the operation was not the highest quality, so you can still tell that it was a Minecraft a long time ago. Of course, for real, this RTS has nothing to do with Minecraft except the voxel style. Here you are a ruler with macro-style controls, meaning that you can order to attack the enemy, but you have no control over the actual battle. Soldiers here are soldiers for a reason. They should know how and who to destroy without your annoying micromanagement. Winter Ember. This is an immersive stealth action game that casts you into the role of the Faceless Man. On the first night of winter, you pull out your blade and seek vengeance for your family. Everyone thought you were dead, so you prove them wrong by making them dead. Haha! How the turns have tabled unexpectedly! So this game is a true stealth experience. You must stick to the shadows, infiltrate homes and explore hidden passageways. But be careful not to be spotted, or the legend about your death will become a real deal this time. Yeah. Far, Changing Tides. Another work of art. An atmospheric vehicle adventure that follows the emotional journey of a boy and his ship as he embarks on a voyage to find a new home. You will sail stormy waters, dive unknown depths, and explore forgotten ruins in a beautifully realized world of flood. Game is filled with different landscapes, sun-scorched, dusty plains, stormy skies, and high seas. Game is filled with puzzles as well, also interesting mechanics and art. Also, I can't be silent about a very cool soundtrack that reacts to your actions, amplifies key moments, and creates an atmosphere. Really cool. Abyss Build to Destroy. This is an atmospheric physics destruction building game. You will build structures from parts and let them crash into your targets. I don't know why humans love to look at things being destroyed. Admit it. How many times you were watching videos of buildings being demolished by controlled explosions? Yeah, we create order, but we love to watch the world burn as well. This game is all about our darkest desires of world destruction. Yeah, I will play this one for sure. Occupy Mars. This is a highly technical open-world sandbox game about Mars colonization inspired by the most promising technologies and companies that are working toward becoming a multi-planetary species. Yeah, Elon, if you are watching, we are all looking at you. You will build and upgrade your base, discover new amazing regions, conduct mining operations, retrieve water, generate oxygen, grow crops, fix broken parts, and learn how to survive on Mars or die trying. Yeah, that is more likely. The Unliving. Ooh, the realm of the living has been corrupted to its core, and the storm is coming to change the world order. The storm is you, a mighty necromancer, a sorcerer who denies death and leads the legions of the dead. Clerics and lords hope to hide behind high walls, but there is no stronghold to cover them from your wrath. Smite hundreds of those puny good people and turn them into your tools on the way to a greater purpose. Gatewalkers. As developers say, this indie co-op survival game tells the story of the Gatewalkers, who are able to teleport to mysterious lands, each of which differs in its climate and elements of the environment. Yeah, it would be weird if every mysterious land looked exactly the same. Well, maybe except if that would be a mysterious land of bouncing boobs and flowing vodka. Then it's okay, let it be the same over and over again. I don't mind spending some time in there. Game is a strange mix of Diablo and survival survival games, because here you will have to sleep, eat and drink, and if you don't do that, you will die. Also, you will die if you are too cold, too hot, or too sexy. Nah, I'm kidding about the last one. Better stay sexy in real life, I know you are. Also, you are beautiful and smart. Please subscribe. Imprisoned Hyperion. Welcome to the dark and dangerous dungeons of a world that has survived its end. You'll have to find safe resting places, cook food, help different creatures, and learn the dark history of this world and also of your own. And also try not to die. And that will not be an easy task, at least for you. No offense. Well, a little. Developers of the game are really thinking out of the box here, because for you there are different ways to succeed. For example, you can poison the food in the kitchen to avoid battle, or kill the mage who gave you the task to get your reward without completing the task. Your adventure has a specific goal, and no matter how you will achieve it. Amy. Art again! In Amy, or Ami, or Ami, our planet is at the edge of a global disaster and all living things are about to vanish. That sucks. Lives and livelihoods are shattered and the world has become more dangerous than ever. You'll have to stroll to a certain place that gives hope to survive. Yet, before you reach the destination, there are a lot of challenges to take. And by challenges, I mostly mean puzzles that will put your IQ to work. Be sure you have some IQ, not work. Ixion. Propelled onwards through a perilous journey, you are the administrator of the mighty space station, charged with finding a new home for humanity. Keeping the station sound and flying will require a deft hand and strategic thinking, as you are constantly pulled between maintaining hull integrity, bringing in new resources, and managing power consumption. What choices will you make when confronted with impending disaster? What will you discover out there in the dark? Probably nothing good. We all know that Borg is somewhere out there. Also, if you want to support my channel, you can buy games with my link from the GOG store. No game in there has DRM and they support refunds for up to 30 days. You'll find the link in the description below. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.
Bye!